at the stadium. Sean McCree, Bill Clark and Bill Arthur.
Okay.
And Thierry Alibert blows for the start of this second half. Ireland, well, not quite there, but they've got a great chance here to make another name for themselves in the Rugby League World Cup, just as they did in 2000. They were in the same group as Samoa, and they beat them 30 points to 16 in Belfast, and Steve Prescott got a try and 5 goals that night. They got through to the quarter-finals of the competition there. This time, it's a place in the last 6 that awaits them, because it's, of course, the semi-final qualifier that they could be heading to, and the Irish bench looking on as their side has possession at the start of the second half, in possession with Ben Harrison. And of course Ireland needing to win by 6 points or more as Richards launches that one downfield and hangs in the air, seemed to be up there for ages before it lands in the hands of Smith Samoa. And the Samoan fullback will return the ball. Pat Richards has an almighty boot on him. Let's hope it's not going to come down to the goals that he's missed, because he has missed 4 so far in this competition. Here's Wigan's George Carmont, and that's with Frank Pulatua, and Pulatua has lost possession. It's been snaffled by Ben Harrison.
There's always an element of risk when you pass the ball so close to the line. It's come off Pulatua, and Ireland now are the ones immediately looking to attack and offload. Ball kept alive here now. Samoans offloaded the ball far more than the Irish side in the first half, but Griggs was the recipient of the first Irish one today.
There's Eamon O'Carroll, chunky little figure O'Carroll. But he runs hard, and he did there. Now here's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, little burst of action from him, finds Littler. But Littler is quickly stopped. Didn't make much progress there, the Irish. Littler plays the ball. McIlorum, change of direction, finds Gareth Haggerty. And Haggerty keeps the ball alive. Finnegan. 4 tackles gone, this set of 6 for the Irish. McIlorum finds Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick finds Griggs. Griggs almost through there. It was a good tackle from Carmont in the end. Here is Platt. Platt still going. Pirouettes, gets the ball away to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick out wide to Richards. Richards looking for a second try. He'll get it! Pat Richards gets another try for the Irish. What a start to the second half. And Pat Richards finishing off a move that went from one side of the field to the other to get his second try.
Well, the Irish started the first half poorly. They haven't made that mistake in the second. You know what, they've kept the ball alive. After working so hard defensively, they've come up with possession. A couple of offloads in this set of 6 tackles, and then a wonderful pass there from Fitzpatrick, straight into the hands of Pat Richards, who intelligently, but very determinedly, comes back in field. He knows that the sideline is a danger to him, and he has to stay on the field of play. Comes back in, bounces through the first couple of tackles, and ensures that the ball is grounded over the try line to give the Irish a dream start for this second half. And at this stage, put them through from what many people predicted as the group of death.
Was Terry O'Connor looking to the heavens there? Well, at the moment they're back on course for that semi-final qualifier. And Pat Richards, there's the worried Samoan faces. We can't quite believe this. Now then, can Pat Richards land this from way out wide?
Thing is, Bill, when you turn a football over on the second play of a game, when you restart, you are putting yourself under pressure as Pat Richards hits this ball. It's going to go to the right, well right of the post. But, you know, Samoa have put themselves on enormous pressure, and again, they've shown an inability really to defend their line. They're all over the place. People come forward, some slide off, some sit back. They get a little tight, and there's not a lot of cohesion with their defensive pattern, and that's put them under enormous pressure.
Well, they were asking in the studio about the significance of that Simon Finnegan try celebration. There's a man down on the touchline who might just be able to explain that. Stevie Gibbons, another of the London Scholars players, he's talking to Angela.
Yes, Stevie, those tattoos, and that's part of the celebrations, isn't it? Just explain what they've been doing.
Well, basically all the lads, after we got our tattoos, we said we'd point at the tattoos where we got it if we score a try to celebrate. The phrase itself is a Gaelic phrase. It's Ní neart go cur le chéile. It means there's no strength without unity.
You've all got it in different places, though.
We do. We all have.
Where's yours?
I'd rather not say on air, to be honest, at the moment. But Yeah, we all have it in various different places.
Dream start that, wasn't it?
Fantastic start, Jess. Just what we needed coming into the second half. So hopefully we can build on that and go on and win the game by more than 6 points.
The thing is with Samoa, you've got to be in possession and put it to them, haven't you? And that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, we got to hold on to the ball as much as we can, try and turn the big men, turn their defence, hopefully tire them out as much as possible, and you know, hopefully the gaps will start to open up then.
Be able to relax, won't you, when that gap gets a bit bigger in the scoreline?
Oh, let's hope so, Angela, let's hope so.
Here comes Samoa though with Nelly coming infield. There's a problem for one of the Samoan players. Just walking back to, it's Langi Setu, I think. He's still out there, but in fact Apollo Perolini coming on the field as play continues to take him off. So that is a problem. Lost one of their second rowers, Langi Setu, but they're in possession. Oof, very nearly weren't. Frank Pulatua almost went without that. So Ireland, that magic number 6. At the moment, they've got that cushion. Well, they've got 8 points, but it's Samoa. Little chip chase. It could be too strong. It was just. I bet Pat Richards' heart was in his mouth then.
Disappointingly from Samoa, there's been very little cohesion when it's come to attacking. It's been sort of individual efforts. Okay, they get to the last play. Here's McLaurin taking on the defence, and this is where Langi Setu, probably one of Samoa's better players, buckles the leg and hurts the left shoulder, I think, as he goes into that tackle. He'll be a major loss for Samoa, but it's sort of, you don't see much interplay between the half-backs and the outside backs. They move the ball well against Tonga, but you see there the ball's grounded past the dead ball line. And Ireland have subsequently been awarded a penalty now, so without having to work, they're over 50 metres from their own try line.
It's a really good point you make, Phil, and I think part of the problem is Nigel Vangana, the very, very experienced player in the Samoan team, not what you'd call a classic ball player. He's played a lot of his career at centre, wing, but not a lot of standoff, not a lot of 5'8", as they call it here in Australia. And I think he's more a running player. He's not a ball player. And the outside backs have just not seen any football at all.
It's Ireland in possession. Haggerty. Oh, Haggerty takes a big hit and keeps possession.
I think he's been very impressive for Ireland, carrying the hopes of the Harlequins club back from Super League and doing them very proudly. What a year he's had in terms of improvement.
Well, they'll be watching back in West London. Harlequins, in fact, back in pre-season training this week. Already hard at work. Haggerty hard at work on Ireland's behalf here, but that was a poor pass from Fitzpatrick. It was Griggs, in fact, who gave it. And it's given Samoa possession back. We were talking about what the permutations were if the scores will level at the end of this. Well, it's we can't be resolved by points difference. It's then points percentage. That's for and against times 100. If that doesn't do it, it's the number of tries scored. If that doesn't resolve it, it's then goals kicked, then it's drop goals, and finally toss of a coin. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that for Ireland. At the moment it won't, because they are ahead here by 20 points to 12, but it's Tonga in possession with Nigel Vangana.
Samoa's game plan appears to be to blow Ireland away down the middle of the field. They're repeatedly going out. They're one-man efforts amongst those middle defenders as Ben Roberts chips over the top. It sits up in goal. Platt carries it, and in fact his feet touch the dead ball line, so this will be a goal line dropout. Samoa's real challenge is to Ireland's middle defenders. They're not bothered about how they stand out wide. They tested them a little bit in the first half, but they're firing quick men from the dummy half position, and they're testing the fitness and endurance capacity of Ireland's guys in the centre of the field.
Just saw another example of not putting pressure on a kicker. Ben Roberts was able to change his decision. He was going to put another one of those spiral bombs in the air, had a look around, nobody put him under pressure, saw a little option down the short side, and now this is probably a better result.
A little bit of time eaten up there by Pat Richards, very, very cunningly done. First goal line dropout of the game, and Samoa have the ball back. Here's Smith Samau. Once in the Melbourne Storm club. And he plays the ball. Here's Frank Pulatua. 2 tackles gone. Right up the middle of the field. Here's Ali Lauatiti now. And the Irish players know all about him, the Leeds Rhinos man, and they're not going to allow him to offload that ball. He loves to do that. Drop of the shoulders from Missy Talapapa. And then it's with Roberts. Roberts is taken down on the Irish 10 metres line. tries to get up to play the ball. Haggerty standing all over him. Referee says play on. Harrison Hansen drives towards the posts. That's the 5th tackle. Roberts stabs the kick in. Oh, he's going to get the ball back and almost manages to stumble his way to the try line, but the referee deciding that the Irish didn't play at that ball, it'll be the turnover.
And you really have to compliment Ireland there, again for the goal line defence. Samoa looked to go wide to the left-hand side, but they moved up quickly and contained them, and then they got enough pressure on the kicker there to manage to survive. But this is where you find out how tough you are in rugby league, putting your hand up to carry the ball from this part of the field.
Littler put his hand up, Blanche puts his hand up, and both of them feel the force of this Samoan defence. The Samoan supporters at that end of the ground really getting behind their side. Great crowd here at Parramatta Stadium. Bigger, I think, than it was for the Tonga game. And again, this game giving the lie to the doomsayers who've knocked this competition virtually from the word go. It's amazing, isn't it? You invite these sides to come to the party and then you spend the next few weeks bagging them. Well, these two have shown what the World Cup is all about. It's a good kick downfield. Matt Utai eventually gets to it for Samoa, but Richards was leading the chase and gets hold of Smith-Samoa.
And the ball's come free, Bill. I think this should be play on. It is. Oh, no, Ireland have lost it.
They get the penalty.
What a turnaround there. Huge play, big kick from Pat Richards. The ball knocked down then eventually, in fact lost in the tackle before being knocked out illegally. Smith-Samoa runs it. I think it's perhaps a loose carry, and Scott Griggs, the number 6, pounces on it. But then Ali Lauitiiti punches it out of his hands.
Subtle that was. Well, Smith-Samoa feeling that it was Griggs who committed the first offence, but that's definitely Ali Lauitiiti.
Well, wasn't that a one-on-one tackle?
I think he had to play the football. I'm not sure that he was allowed to do it. I think he's going to play the ball and he's knocked it out then, and so I think it's the right decision. It's again, Ireland taking the points. They're fully aware of the situation. They want to go to a 10-point lead here, put a lot of pressure now on the Samoan team who look like they're under pressure. They're really battling to me. They're really struggling with cohesion both offensively and defensively. Nothing's really happening for them. They're trying to work their way out of it. They're trying to just power over the line of Ireland. But Ireland have stood up really well tonight. They've certainly been terrific in defence.
Richards, 2 more crucial points for the Irish. 22-12 now the scoreline. 6 points, remember, the winning margin that the Irish need. Well, they're on course at the moment for the qualifying semi-final next week.
And they're managing to frustrate Samoa with some brilliant and determined defence. And you've seen now that it's almost become 13 individual efforts from the blue jerseys. They all want to carry the ball and show how strong and passionate they are to play for the country. But it needs a greater degree of intelligence here if Samoa are to break down Ireland.
The restart is deep and Haggerty is underneath it. Took that one well because he was right on the goal line. It's a good chase by Samoa. The ball's come loose and it's a knock on, and that's what Samoa were hunting for. Immediately from the restart they get the ball back. They were there in numbers, and Ali Lauitiiti, the smiles on his face. Gareth Haggerty not impressed.
Well, we'll get to see just how committed Ireland are here now. Having scored those 2 points, they're back again on the try line. So much of the first half was played in Ireland's half of the field, and we're getting a repeat again in this second 40 minutes.
So here comes Samoa. Talau, haven't seen much of him, but we are now, and he's almost over the line. He is over the line, I think. Just short.
Staying held up over the line, he's sending him back 10 metres. What an amazing defensive effort this must have been from Michael Platt. As Talau slid over the line, he's preventing him from grounding the ball.
But they're still on the attack, Samoa. Here's Ben Roberts. Roberts, back to Frank Puletua. Trying to wrestle his way out of the grasp. He's looking to Tony Puletua, trying to make amends for that disallowed try in the first half that would have got Samoa off to the perfect start. That ball popped up kindly for Talau. Ireland desperately defending their own try line now. Ali Lauitiiti taking them on. They managed to hold him. He's lost the ball, but the penalty is awarded. It was stolen, says Thierry Alibert. And another opportunity for Samoa here. Siu takes the tap and Lautiti comes thundering in once more. Ben Harrison with the tackle. Pulatua still going right under the nose of the referee. He couldn't stretch out that time. Siu will try his arm, and he's held up, is he? He is held up, and again amazing defence from the Irish at the bottom of the pile. Platt again.
And Ireland are relishing this challenge here. They're showing how good they are now aside. Written off by everybody from this group. That's 6 tackles on their own line they've already withstood. 3 with a penalty, then 3 more. And Solomona now takes the ball forward, but they're going backwards at the moment, Samoa. Keep the ball alive.
Harrison Hansen now, that amazing pass from Solomona, managing to squeeze it out. He's lost that ball. It was knocked on. Wangener it was, who couldn't keep a hold of it. He's taken a knock as well. And the Irish congratulate each other on a job well done. And it looks as though Wangener has got a problem with the knee there.
Well, Ireland look like they've got 23 men defending the line at the moment, not just 13. The knee twists back awkwardly. They've grown in confidence as this game has gone on because they've been able to prevent Samoa from scoring when they've got close to the line. This looks like a serious injury to Nigel Wangener. And I guess there'd have to be tactical changes if the standoff, a main playmaker leaves the field. Ben Roberts has been important to Samoa, but Nigel Wangener's experience will be hugely important in the final quarter of this game.
Well, the former Warrington man is in a lot of trouble, 33 years of age.
You can see the way he fell here, or the way he was tackled awkwardly. You can see the knee go just now. That's opened the joint up, which generally indicates a medial ligament strain of some kind. So I think he'll do very well to continue on in this game. They're just checking it now. They're sort of palpating that area where the medial ligament is, the physio, the trainer. It's going to be touch and go, I think, whether Nigel Wangener is able to take any further part in this game.
Simon Robbins, the Samoan physio, just having a look. But Wangener's back up on his feet.
Well,
he's a tough hombre.
Again, it's quite a long stop in play here for an injury. It gives Ireland a chance to get the breath back and recover after working so hard on the line. Applause now from all of the players, as much as though Wangener is going to be led from the field. The Irish coach is able to make a change. Haggerty comes off for a rest. Carroll and Tandy back on the field now for Ireland. And they have to be thinking now about the next 6 tackles. Carrying the ball strongly, good control of the ball, and quicker play the balls.
Well, Wangener not too keen to leave the field. Wayne McDade will come back on. I think obviously Martin and Paul watching this one interestedly back in the studio. Fantastic defence from the Irish so far.
What you've got from the Samoans, they're going one out, which means the Irish can really muscle up on that one play. There's not a lot of disguise in it. It's about challenging our big boys against your big boys. The difference is you've got 4 or 5 Irish defenders and only 1 Samoan attacker. So the Irish are digging in, rolling the sleeves up and getting on with it.
Yeah, the Samoans aren't showing much invention in attack. They just seem to be bashing it up. Ben Roberts is showing little signs of brilliance, but I think he's a 6 as well, so they're really lacking a 7 to bring their attack together.
Well, that will suit the Irish as long as they continue to have problems creating. The Irish will be smiling. Oh, big hit. Tandy felt that. But he's held on to the ball crucially because they were looking again to just try and get it out of his grasp. Wayne McDade, well, he's certainly made an impact in tonight for Kylie Luluai, and the kick, not the best. Smith-Sam out, and the pass out wide, well taken by George Carmont. Carmont brings it back in field. Ireland trying to take him to the touchline. Held, cries the referee. That's got to be a penalty. It is.
Well, this now becomes very hard for Ireland because all of the game, whether they have the ball or they don't, tends to be in their own half of the field. That is far more tiring than when you play in your opponent's half. And again, Ireland having to do so much defence.
It's another one of these grey areas, Phil, in the game, isn't it? When you see there, what part of that is held? When is he held? When is he held? When is he held? There's momentum all the time. It's a very difficult thing. The referee clearly called held, but players don't always hear that. That's a tough penalty.
Solomona with the first drive, then Pulatua with the next. The big guns firing for Samoa. Pulatua looking for a penalty there. Here's Harrison Hansen. Hansen Looking for an offload maybe there, but is tackled. They go down the short side with Terence Siu. Again, they were looking for the offload with Paulo, but he couldn't get the ball away. Again, the Irish defence, magnificent. And now a little bit of footwork from Smith-Samoa. That's the 5th tackle. Can they withstand this onslaught as well? They've been pinned back virtually since Pat Richards scored that try. Now there's another kick, another challenge. The ball has come down into the hands of the Irish, and it's been picked up by Blanche, and he'll go all the way. He will go all the way, and this surely will be a hammer blow for the Samoan side, but the Samoan players demanding that Thierry Alibert goes all the way back. Ali Lauatiti has in fact stayed at the other end of the field, and Thierry Alibert will go to the video ref.
Well, the touch judge on the far side of the field, closest to that kick, has stayed on the 40-metre line. He hasn't advanced downfield. I think he thinks the first knock-on and error probably came from Ireland, possibly even Damien Blanche involved in that. But you play to the whistle in this sport. That's exactly how Damien Blanche has approached it. The kick's gone from Roberts to the far side of the field. Melly attempts to get up over Carmont. Gleeson's got his eyes on Melly, and Blanche, I think, knocks on initially here. I think it comes from Blanche, but I'll tell you what, he reacts quickly here. Gleeson plays the whistle. The ball's knocked on there. Knocked backwards, I probably would say, from Melly, rather than knocked on from Gleeson. Ireland have had some luck in this game. Would this go their way again as well?
No. Surely not.
Well, we thought not for the Samoan try, which was, cancelled for obstruction.
And then you've got to say,
I thought it was a certain Samoan try.
Well, if Blanche doesn't knock it on, does Gleeson? It's a decision for Steve Ganson.
Gleeson. He's trying to make a tackle. I agree. I think Blanche has knocked the football on. I think there's enough evidence there to suggest it's come off his arm. I'd be extremely surprised if the video ref gives this as a try.
Well, the Irish players, in actual fact, have all trooped back, ready to form a scrum, as you can see. I'm just waiting for Steve Ganson to make the decision. You never know. Thierry Alibert, meanwhile, is right up at the other end of the field. Lonely figure underneath those posts. There he is, all the players down the other end of the park. And behind him, the video ref decision will come up on the screen. And no try, as expected. Damien Blanche, well, he got a hat-trick against the Tongans. And he could have been an Irish hero again tonight. He still might be. 22-12 the scoreline. Ireland still, though, heading for this qualifying semi-final.
This is one of the longest games of rugby league I think I've ever seen because of the stoppages. It really tests the level of concentration from Ireland here, particularly on their own line. They've had a rest. Can they focus and contain Samoa's goal forward with Talau?
Willie Talau. Oh, the pass from Talau straight into touch, and Missy Talapapa never had a chance there. And again, the Irish defence congratulates each other, and the Samoan supporters just wonder when their side is going to put it together. So does Willie Talau.
This is a great game of rugby league, evenly balanced here. Samoa desperate to get that score, which would take some pressure off them. And I think this is the anxiety that creates this pass. Talau looking there to draw in Richards with the eyes, but throws the ball into touch. Samoa's reaction was good though. The ball went out of play. They immediately formed the scrum. The defensive line was set. And I would guess they're going to put some real intensity and pressure on Ireland here now in these 6 tackles.
Meanwhile, on the sidelines, Vangana gets treated. Well, there is the intensity. And Richards on the receiving end. Now Platt. Oh, and Platt doesn't make much progress, but gets to his feet well quickly to play that ball. Littler. Hansen with the tackle. That looked like a forward pass from McIlorum. He was lucky to get away with that one to Tandy, I think it was. And here he goes again, McIlorum. 4 tackles gone. That's the 5th. Needs to be a good kick from Fitzpatrick. It's not a bad one considering the pressure he was under. And it's just got a bit away from Smith somehow. That'll do him.
And this is the closest they've been to the Samoan try line, I think, in the second half.
Well, not since they scored the try.
Since then, I mean, it's been all in Ireland's half of the field. Oh, there's the error.
Melly it was, I think, who's gone without it, and look at the celebrations from the Irish, and Griggs gets to his feet and says, come on lads.
Well, a mirror of the first half. Ireland have survived on their own line, countless efforts by the Samoans to score, and then when they've got to the other end of the field here, Ireland have shown a clinical approach in this game. They've converted chances into points far better than the Samoans. Can they do it once more?
And just listen to the Irish support here. Well, there were plenty of Irish supporters down in Melbourne when we were down there, and they were there for the international rules game between Australia and Ireland. I don't think they made this much noise. Went along to the MCG for the second game. Bizarre affair that was. The Irish won that one. Can they win this one? Can they win it by enough points to make it through? At the moment they're on course. And another try. Well, that really might knock the stuffing out of this Samoan side. Tandy plays the ball. McIlorum looks left, then goes right to the captain Griggs. Platt. He's tackled, but 8 metres out. Tallow it was with the tackle. Here's Griggs taking him on himself. The Wakefield Trinity Wildcat. That's the 5th tackle. Richards, his hand raised on the far side of the field, out of shot at the moment, but surely they'll hoist one towards him. No, it goes the other way. The chase is on, and Melly, there's nowhere for him to go. And that's a great result for the Irish.
A perfect play from the Irish to put some pressure here on Samoa. Stay at this end of the field for as long as possible. I mean, they'd stay here for 90 minutes if possible.
I bet his forwards haven't thanked him too much for it. You know, they did such a good job. They've actually tightened up a fair bit defensively of Samoa, and they did such a good job to restrict the kick from Carl Fitzpatrick on the 40-metre line. And then on tackle number 1, you turn the football over. The guys are getting back to try to get set. They think they've got a full set of 6, and all of a sudden you're under this sort of pressure. They're going to do well to hang on here, Samoa.
Pat Richards played the ball there. He's got 14 points tonight. Super League's top point scorer and a leading contributor for the Irish here. Here's Tandy again. Big drive from the West Tigers player. He plays the ball. Here's Griggs once more. Gleeson. Oh, Solomona came looking for him. And the penalty goes against Samoa. And Thierry Alibert indicating that an elbow was raised there. And the Irish players not happy with that challenge from David Solomona. And the frustration beginning to show from this Samoan side.
I just hope that Sean Gleeson's head's still on the top of his body at the moment here. As he hits the ground there. A little concern. Everybody argues over other things here, don't they? Boom, spins off the jaw, loses the ball. I hope he's okay.
Well, he's back on his feet, but the Irish players had a good view of that, and they didn't like the way Solomona went in there. Now then, he has been called out.
He's on report.
And it is on report, says Thierry Alibert. David Solomona apologising to Sean Gleeson. But I think they are getting frustrated, the Samoan side.
I've got to say, that's not reportable, that's off. That's a send-off. You've raised your elbow and you've actually made contact with a player's head. Then that's a send-off offence. I'm sorry, but it's you don't take that. You don't take. I think he's copped out there, the referee. That is not to be placed on report. To me, that's a send-off.
Well, Kylie Luluai was suspended for this game for his actions against Tonga.
There's the contact, Bill. There's the contact. We see it. It's a raised forearm. Here comes the contact. Bang.
You can see it, left forearm.
David Solomona is extremely fortunate to remain on the field.
And Pat Richards can extract some sort of punishment with another 2 points for the Irish here. Every little helps for them. There's another 2. 24-12 the scoreline now. If they can hold on to this, improve on this, then they're going to that semi-final qualifier. And Pat Richards, as we said, has he found his kicking boots just at the right time for the Irish?
If Ireland are to go through into the next stage, this is a great game to prepare them for that. They're in the last 15 minutes, they have a lead, but they're playing against a determined and talented outfit, which is what they'll meet as they progress through this World Cup tournament. And this really will test them here now.
Is it on your bike, Samoa? But there's still plenty of time for this unpredictable Samoan side to do enough damage to destroy Ireland's hopes. They don't have to win this game. They just have to make sure they don't lose by 6 points. As Ireland play the ball, it was Tandy again. And then off goes Bob Bezic, back on the field. He'll be playing for Halifax next season in National League One.
And that's probably the best clearing kick we've seen from Ireland for quite some time. Again, they've only got to about the 30-metre line, and a good run by Samoa gets them over that. But there's a bit more organisation, not as much pressure and less panic in the Irish play.
Missy Talapapa takes the ball up. It was a big tackle from Ryan Tandy on him. Here's Francis Melly. 3 tackles gone. Roberts now. Roberts away from 1, away from 2, and he's still going, the little number 7. And that might galvanise Samoa now. A run like that, it's certainly lifted their supporters. Here is Solomona, shape to kick, then shifts the ball on. It finds Talau. Talau, well tackled. Good work from Fitzpatrick to make that tackle. It's on the last now. Ali Lauatiti with the kick. That's going nowhere but the dead ball line.
What a brilliant effort from Ryan Tandy. He worked so hard first to get back onside, then when the ball was played, to get up and put pressure on the kicker. Here's a run from Ben Roberts. Skips in between a couple of defenders. I think Tandy was one of them who maybe missed it. In fact, it was Haggerty, in fact. And he carried the hopes of the Samoan side forward, but it's again one-man efforts, and Ireland just about able to hang on with that.
Well, he's been a player, hasn't he, that has threatened the line. He's at least gone to the line, he's put a bit of footwork on, he's showed the ball, he's dummied, he's done all sorts of things. I just don't think there's been enough of that from the Samoan team, and they've probably failed to support Ben Roberts. I think he's probably been their best player.
Gareth Haggerty needing a little bit of treatment, another few seconds eaten up on the clock. Ben Roberts, a cousin of Everton's Tim Cahill, who's a very keen rugby league supporter, and was in fact, I think at Featherstone to watch this Samoan side qualify for the latter stages of the World Cup. I'm sure he's been to visit, watch games at St Helens as well, Tim Cahill. And his cousin has a crucial role to play for Samoa here tonight. But it's Ireland on the attack. Littler gets to his feet to play the ball. I think the Irish could have had claims for a penalty there. Littler seemed to have been shoved. There's the hard-working Tandy. That's the 5th tackle. Needs to be a good kick. It's Richards who hoists it. Well, that one goes straight up in the air, really. In fact, it's come straight back to the Irish.
And they get a penalty.
They get a penalty. And he's called out Tony Pulatua.
I think, was it for the late challenge on Pat Richards as the kick went through?
It's Tony Pulatua who's being called out. Richards hoisted that ball and was then...
You make a tackle after the kick. Okay. It's late charge. No more. Okay.
We often see that a player sent to the sin bin, late challenge on the kicker in Super League. The yellow card is usually shown and the guy gets a 10-minute rest. It's a dangerous effort to hit the non-kicking leg too, isn't it? Look, maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's been running around for over an hour out there. It's a poor effort to put pressure on the kick.
Well, the Samoan faces showing the frustration and the disappointment they must be feeling to be in this situation, not finding a way through this Irish defence. And Pat Richards now, this a long-range attempt, but it's almost straight onto the posts. He'll certainly get the distance. Will he get the direction? And this to just put Ireland closer to the last 6 in this competition. Richards then, 35 metres out. Still going up when it went over the posts. 2 more points for the Irish. 26-12 the scoreline.
Well, Samoa already had to score 2 tries at least. All that does is put a little bit of extra pressure on the Samoan goal kicker, who now needs to convert those tries as if they are scored. Just less than 12 minutes, 2 tries needed from Samoa.
Watch the short kick-off, Richards was advising. There it goes. And Richards is among them to challenge for it, and he gets up for it as well. Well, he might have made his name here in Parramatta as an Eels youngster, but he's making his name in the hearts of Irish Rugby League supporters tonight. Pat Richards, with this second half performance, well, first half performance as well, but he has dominated proceedings. A try and 3 goals from Pat Richards in this second half. All the Irish points coming from their number 5. But that ball has been tapped back. It's Terence Siu who'll chase it. The Irish are chasing it, and it's Richards who missed it. I almost put the muckers on him. Oh.
Well, the referee's given a knock-on against Samoa. Ireland have had some luck tonight.
Terence Siu was chasing that for all he's worth, but they've come back to the 30-metre line.
There was the alleged knock-on by Willa Talau. The referee says he played at that. Whatever happened afterwards was irrelevant excitement, I suppose, for the supporters here.
And me. And the Irish supporters. There are certainly more here tonight than there were for the Tonga game. Word has got around about this Irish side. They've put themselves about as well, as you've probably seen on Sky Sports. And they've been really justifying the supporters' faith here tonight so far. 26-12 the scoreline. And will it be Ireland who will take on, well, everybody thinks Fiji in that qualifying semi-final. The Scots might have something to say about that, you never know. Here's Gareth Haggerty.
And this is what they've been very good at, Bill. They've been good at rolling down the field, getting to the kick, chasing well, asking Samoa a lot of questions. They've been particularly good in this part of the field. Now they'll just finish off here now, and they'll just put a little kick in, try to find some space, maybe throw it up in the air, put a bit of pressure on, get through.
Oh, and an error. The ball is going to come up for the Irish, and it's Liam Finn. Liam Finn just back on the field, I think, has got the touchdown. Samoa again unable to deal with the kick. The Irish can't believe, look at the expressions on the faces. Bob Bezic calm in the middle of it all. But has Finn got another try for the Irish?
It's a brilliant kick, isn't it? Because it doesn't go where you would predict it to go. At first I thought he'd get it to land, but Mr. Talapapa makes a real mess of it. It bounces backwards, and Liam Finn, let's just check that he's onside. He had to be behind the kicker. If he was, I think this is the 5th Irish try. Just look there as his foot goes to the ball. I think he's just... Oh, I don't know.
They're all onside.
I'm not sure. I think he could be offside.
They're all onside. Steve Ganson is the video ref. This probably is one of the easiest decisions he's had to make all night. Terrible hash again by Samoa. Liam Finn with the touchdown. Dewsbury's Liam Finn. Has he got the try that has sent Ireland through to the next round of this World Cup tournament? Steve Ganson, the video ref, has had a quick look at that. He was the hero of the qualifying game against Lebanon with a try and 2 vital goals. A vital try now tonight, surely, for Ireland's Liam Finn. Let's see. There it is. 4 more points. And the Irish supporters now can dream of a trip up the coast.
And the 3rd try tonight that Ireland have scored directly from a kick. They've executed those players ever so well. They've chased and they've put pressure on their opponents, and they've been rewarded. Liam Finn can't believe that. That just makes the remaining few minutes of this game far more enjoyable. There's an element of relaxation now. They can play fluently and with a real confidence, knowing that I think they are the dark horses who'll progress through from this group. And supporters on the field, there's a real frustration amongst the Samoan supporters and their players. Very sad to see.
That was something for security team to deal with.
Well, they
They're on
wanted
the
to get
field.
the referee, and luckily he's been there to restrain beforehand.
I think it's one of the Irish support staff who intervened. So Samoan-French relations not at their best at the moment, but Samoa have themselves to blame, really. They'll point to one or two decisions, but the error count, as we said before the game, Sean, 21 errors, he made the point. 21 errors against Tonga, the highest so far in the competitions. Richards misses with that one, but 21 errors, and the error count creeping up again for them tonight.
Yeah, they've had an inability to really build pressure, and when they have built pressure, I think Ireland have defended their line extremely well. That's one category in a team that has to be very strong all the time. If you can defend your line, you can absorb pressure for lengthy periods. And Ireland have been very, very good at that tonight, and they've been much better with the football, particularly in the second half. They've controlled the ball pretty well. They've had to withstand a bit of an onslaught, and that's what gets you through. That gets you through there, because Samoa have tightened up their defence. They've come up and they've hit really hard. But they just, when they've had the football, I think they've just lacked numbers. They've gone one out all the time. It's been very individualistic, and they've just turned over too much possession to really mount a lot of pressure.
Into the last 10 minutes here, and Ryan Tandy, he's been outstanding in this second half for the Irish. They've all been outstanding. There he is, familiar to Widnes and Whitehaven supporters. Ooh, that looked forward, it was. Bezic here. Samoa head and feet at the scrum, very quickly looking to pack the scrum down. Well, if they're going to pull this one out of the fire, they're going to have to do something spectacular and come up with the sort of football that we haven't seen from them so far tonight.
Well, we've seen St Helens in Super League score 3 tries in less than 10 minutes. I'm not so sure Samoa are careful of it. Ryan Tandy got a little bit of unnecessary attention there from Solomona and Laurititi. The referee had already blown the whistle.
What you might see is some entertainment, because we're going to have to play a bit more than catch up now. They've got to keep the ball alive, they've got to offload, so they may be entertaining for the last 7.5 minutes, but they certainly haven't got 3 tries in them. The way they've played.
30 points to 12, and Ireland only needed 6 to go through. Well, they're sitting pretty at the moment. But here comes Samoa, Pulatua. It might have been a different story if that early try had been allowed, and that will be one of the decisions that Samoa will contest, but obstruction was the ruling. And Ireland survived that early onslaught, and they've never really looked back since then. But here come Samoa. Ali Lauititi clutches that ball out of the air, gives it back to Joseph Paulo. Paulo, though, is tackled. That's the 5th tackle. Siu goes down the short side, stabs the kick in. Richards turns and watches that one go dead.
There's no way that Pat Richards has played at it. He's possibly been pushed into the ball. It's a very nice kick into the in-goal area by Siu. He's looking maybe to force the goal line drop it, but the ball's bouncing over the dead ball line. And
Richards is over that dead ball line before it hits his knee.
And I think Talou pushed him. In fact, the referee disagrees with me. He's going to award a goal line drop.
Well, I don't think he was over. I think that he was about to put his foot down out of the field of play, but that knee has hit the ball. I actually think that's the correct decision.
Yeah, I thought he was pushed from behind by Willa Talou into the ball, which that angle didn't sort of show.
Well, it's a goal line dropout. It's Richards who'll take it, and he'll take his time about taking it. Surely now Ireland can't let this one slip. We saw Pat Richards launch one of these monsters down the field against Tonga, and then the Irish chase was up to it. Is it up to it on this occasion as Pulatua comes roaring back? They are. Sean Gleeson in there, Lee Doran as well, but another charging run. This time it's Frank Pulatua. He plays the ball. Here's Harrison Hansen trying to skirt round the first defender, but it was the outstanding Ryan Tandy who made the tackle. Here is Solomona now. We know what Solomona can do with the hands, and again the Irish defence just manages to stop George Carmont short. He plays the ball just inches from the line. They're over with Solomona. They've got one back, but it's way out wide, and it's going to be a tough conversion attempt for Ben Roberts, so the gap is narrowed.
Well, Many people think David Solomona might be a little lucky to be on the field after what happened earlier on. But Carmont goes close to the line, and then Solomona senses the fatigue there, doesn't it? Irish players lying on the floor, dives over the top of them and grounds the ball. Just less than 5 minutes to go now. Crashes through for that one. They need 2 more very quickly, and they could do with this kick going over to help as well.
Well, Ireland, the Irish supporters right behind Roberts, will be desperately hoping that this one is wide of the target. Toughest kick for him. Wrong side of the field. Roberts has pushed it wide of the mark. Ireland 30, Samoa 16. It's enough at the moment for Ireland to go through. They can't afford to allow Samoa again to get across that try line.
We'd have some excitement. You often see back-to-back tries in rugby league. The team have had the ball, they're fresh, they're pumped up. Samoa have to score, and Ireland doing everything they possibly can here to slow the game down, take any momentum now out of Samoa's attack.
Well, the first thing to do here, Phil, is defuse Pat Richards' kickoff. They've been pretty good so far tonight, but that'll add 30 seconds to the clock. It takes that long to come down. Yeah. He'll get plenty of height with this, let me tell you.
Let's hope it stays in the field of play. Oh, and that's a wicked spiralling one as well. Oh, that's a great kick from Richards. What a kick from Richards! What a result from Pat Richards, and the Irish fists are pumping. Bezic slaps hands. Well, you expected one up in the air. Maybe Samoa did as well, because that one was a wicked kick.
He'd tell you he hit that really well. I think it might have been a little bit of a mishit, but got the result, and Ireland can not quite run the clock down yet, but they can certainly take a lot of time up here.
It's been Pat Richards' second half, and that kick, as much as anything, has helped take Ireland through in this competition, surely now. And Richards, in fact, named man of the match here tonight at the Parramatta Stadium for his performance. He set a new Ireland record for points in a World Cup match tonight with 18, and in the process breaking Steve Prescott's record of 14. And what a way to do it, what a game to do it in. And Ireland still looking for the cherry on the cake here tonight. Coming back across the field. Gleeson, though, has kicked that ball into the hands of Solomona, and now it's going to oh, and Melly couldn't take the pass. The pass was from Carmont, and Melly couldn't take it. And that surely is it. 3 minutes to go, and Ireland are going through.
Brilliant play though from Solomona and Carmont. Look at the ball around the corner, and then repeated. Melly had to catch that. He still had 3 Irish players to beat. Boy, there was some good skill there. Put it for Samoa, and I suppose the excitement that we would have had in this box if Francis Melly had taken that one.
Well, you wouldn't have had a lot of money on him to catch it, would you? He's had a poor night. He's dropped some football tonight, but that was pretty tough, that. But they've got to take the odds. Here they go with that 6-man shove again, trying to get the football from the scrum. But on this occasion, Ireland again will be able to take another 45 seconds or so off the clock, and they're going to win this game very comfortably now.
Well, 30 points to 16, and deja vu, because that was the score by which Ireland beat Samoa in the 2000 competition when they went to the quarterfinals, losing eventually to England in a cracker of a match at Headingley. 30 points to 16, the scoreline here. Remember, they only needed to win by 6 to go through. Well, they've done a heck of a job here tonight. They've done Andy Kelly and his support staff proud. This unfancied Irish side, and Damien Blanche looking for more points. Nobody will want to play this Irish side. It play with such passion. Here is Liam Finn, and Finn dinks a little kick in. Littler is chasing it. Richards, has he got there? Surely not another video ref decision. Not a hat-trick for Pat Richards as well. And Thierry Alibert, well, I think the Samoan supporters, and surely the Samoan players and officials won't share this view, but Thierry Alibert has not done a bad job tonight. He's gone, though, to the video ref again. They're certainly onside there.
And Stuart Little is the first player to have a stab at the ball. Do any of his hands touch it? Impossible to tell, really, from that angle. He looks through here now. Pat Richards, does he ground the ball? Yes, he does. Now, that was one quick look at whether Stuart Little got to it. I wonder whether we'll see another angle. The video referee's seen enough for tonight.
It's the 7th video ref decision. And look at the celebrations for the Irish. Little, well, I don't think he got anywhere near the ball. He got hold of, is it Smith Samo? Instead. But we're having another look at it. Littler.
Maybe having a look at whether Stuart Littler takes Smith Samo off the ball. I don't know. I personally think it's a try, but I guess that's the only thing they're looking at. I don't know so much whether looking whether Stuart Littler touches the ball.
Pat Richards thinks it's a try. Samoa certainly don't. They're marching back for a tap on the 20. Ireland aren't sure. And Steve Ganson, it's been a busy night for the video ref. 7 decisions. Is this one going to give Pat Richards the hat-trick? It does! What a night! What a night for the Irish. What a night for Pat Richards. Super League's top point scorer for the last 2 years. Ireland's record point scorer here tonight. He's dominated this second half. And then another hat-trick for the Irish. They have now 5 hat-tricks in their last 6 games. Damien Blanche has 2 of them. Of course, he got one against Tonga. And now Pat Richards has his name to the list. And this army of Irish supporters, well, they'll be making their travel plans for the Gold Coast. The team didn't know where they were going tomorrow. You're going to the Gold Coast.
Well, that's 4 of the 6 tries now have come from kicks, and it shows how dangerous they are at exploiting that play. You know, it's harder to defend sometimes than people give credit. Dangerous, accurate kicks with people chasing. As that kick drifts wide of the post again, the goal kicking hasn't been as good as the field kicking. And you look at the scoreboard and you think about the tries that Ireland have scored, but this game has been won by their goal line defence. Repeatedly put under pressure on or about their own try line, they were able to repel Samoa and as a result give themselves a chance of progressing through this group.
And Samoa, the side that people thought might just be the dark horses in the competition, who might even be able to challenge the big guns, and they haven't lived up to expectations here tonight.
Well, they were certainly my pick to go in and be the 4th semi-finalists, there's no question about it, but, you know, Ireland have been fantastic tonight. It's not the 34 points that they've scored, it's their defence that's won them the football game.
And it's won them a place in the semi-final qualifier next week. Ali Lauatiti and Harrison Hansen there, pretty shell-shocked by how this game has turned out. As the clock runs down, Ireland just struggling to get numbers there to pack the scrum. Samoa have head and feed at the scrum. Ben Roberts hasn't really lived up to expectations tonight, and Damien Blanche takes that ball and just heads into the undergrowth. It'll be the goal line dropout, but the celebrations start for the Blarney Army as the hooter sounds and Ireland are through. What an amazing result for Andy Kelly's side. Nobody gave him a hope, but they have done it here tonight. They have won against Samoa. Pat Richards has dominated it, man of the match, as Ireland win by 34 points to 16.
And what a game Pat Richard had, 22 points contributing to a 34-16 win. 6 tries for Ireland, 3 for Samoa, and this is how Pool 3 finishes. Ireland are top and through to the semi-final qualifier. Samoa finished bottom of Pool 3.